SCP-5424, The Stranger. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-5424 is to be contained within the roughly 6 meters by 3 meters by 2 meters chamber which has replaced Humanoid Containment Chamber HC-5424 by virtue of SCP-5424's primary anomalous effect. No Foundation personnel are to approach the chamber's entrance closer than 9 meters. Items delivered to SCP-5424, i.e. basic sustenance, sanitary supplies, etc., are to be delivered via the installed automated trolley system. Description: SCP-5424 is a human female, aged 36. Prior to Incident IN-5424-01, the subject's designation was Dr. Hilary Weaver, posted at the Suspected Anomalous Materials Analysis Division, SMAD, at Site-81. The subject's primary anomalous quality is the periodic alteration of its immediate surroundings. The radius of these changes is not consistent and has been observed to fluctuate between 1 and 7 meters. While the deployment of Scranton reality anchors has proven ineffective, the primary anomalous effects of SCP-5424 appear not to manifest within the same area on multiple occasions. Therefore, in the aftermath of Incident IN-5424-02, SCP-5424 was not relocated to a standard humanoid containment cell. While locations previously affected by SCP-5424 do not appear to be altered repeatedly, individual items have been observed to materialize within SCP-5424's vicinity. In addition, objects transferred to the immediate vicinity of SCP-5424, including Foundation personnel, subsequent to an alteration, have sporadically ceased to exist. Etheric resonance imaging has consistently shown no levels of aspect radiation above the accepted 100 Casper background radiation baseline during these events. Cognitive testing of SCP-5424 has established no impairment of cognitive function with the exception of the dissociative issues speculated to be linked to SCP-5424's anomalous properties. Specifically, no indications of cerebral atrophy or cerebrovascular damage have been detected. Despite detailed analysis of available data, including detailed medical and thaumaturgical scans of SCP-5424 as well as materials analysis of the locations of incidents IN-5424-01 and IN-5424-02, no plausible hypothesis explaining the onset or nature of SCP-5424's anomalous properties has as yet been put forth. While SCP-5424 itself has produced an explanation, see interview transcript IVT-5424-05, of the events, inconsistencies between SCP-5424's narrative and the observed properties of other type green entities would seem to indicate the provided explanation to most likely be a result of the subject's established dissociative, confabulative episodes. Prior to the initial manifestation of SCP-5424's anomalous effects during Incident IN-5424-01, the subject had sought medical assistance at Site-81's medical wing. Transcripts of interviews performed by Site-81 personnel, as well as relevant incident reports, are attached to this file. Appendix A. Interview transcripts prior to Incident IN-5424-01. Interview transcript IVT-5424-01. Date: the 1st of March 2019. Note: interview conducted by Dr. Roberta Ibanez, Site-81 General Practitioner. Begin transcript: Dr. Ibanez. Hi, Hill. So, what seems to be the problem? SCP-5424? I dunno. It's kinda hard to explain. I've been having this feeling that things are off. Like yesterday I was in the mess hall with Murat and Stefan, and things seemed different. Like maybe the maintenance crews had changed the paint job or something. You know, like when someone shaves their beard or has a new haircut and it takes you forever to notice. This feeling that something is different but you just can't put your finger on it. Dr. Ibanez. Huh. Well, as far as I know there haven't been any changes to the mess recently. You know what? It's probably just stress-related with all those new potential anomalies Zeta-9 brought in from that op last week. I hear Blanchard is running you ragged over at Samad. SCP-5424? It might. Could you take a look anyway? Though, it's just really weird, and having somebody tell me everything is fine would help. Dr. Ibanez. Tell you what, I'll write you up for light duty next week. You give yourself a break and take it a little slower. If weirdness persists, I'll run a full diagnosis the following Monday. Speaking of weirdness, how did your date with that guy from SiteSec go? Does he really never blink? SCP-5424? Groans? Oh God, don't get me started. 14 minutes of extraneous dialogue omitted? End transcript. Interview transcript IVT 5424-02. Date: March 17, 2019. Begin transcript. Dr. Ibanez. Commencing interview of patient Dr. Hilary Weaver, currently posted to Samad at Site 81. Interview being conducted by Dr. Roberta Ibanez, Science Staff General Practitioner at Site 81 Medical. Okay, Hill, repeat what you just told me. SCP-5424? It's my quarters. They've changed. Or, it feels like they've changed. It's not just that they're supposed to be in Gamma Annex, not in Epsilon. It's my stuff too. Like that picture of us from May's retirement party. I vividly remember us being at Francois'. But that picture, I've never seen that place it was taken in. Dr. Ibanez. Have you had any other instances of places seeming unfamiliar? SCP-5424? Well, now that you mention it, the other day I was trying to get to HR from Samad. You know, to get my HD 237, I could have sworn that corridor off of beta containment led to HR. But I ended up near the vehicle hangars. I wrote it off as my typical scatter-mindedness. But the more I think about it, the surer I am that hallway has always connected to HR. 12 minutes of extraneous dialogue omitted? SCP-5424 voices further distress about perceived changes to Site-81 architecture and personal effects. Dr. Ibanez schedules an appointment for neurological testing. Note: subject's recollection of events and locations appears compromised. Suspected neurodegenerative disorder. Subject subsequently remanded to neurological staff for detailed diagnosis. End transcript. Interview transcript IVT 5424-03. Date: March 28, 2019. Begin transcript. SCP-5424? I don't know how often you want me to repeat myself, Bobby. They're gone. Dr. Ibanez. Who's gone, Hill? SCP-5424? My family. God damn it. Frank, Lily, little Evan. They're fucking gone. Dr. Ibanez. I understand this is difficult, but could you please explain where they have gone? SCP-5424? It's not that they've gone somewhere. They're just flat gone. And it's not just them. Every trace of them is missing. The pictures of them on my desk. The chat logs on my cell. It's like somebody has removed all traces of them. And now you nimwits claim there's no mention of any of them in my file. You're saying I'm crazy, Dr. Ibanez. Hill, we've known each other for what, 9 years now? You've never mentioned being married before. SCP-5424? What? Bobby, you've met Frank. We had fucking dinner together last year. Lily got ice cream on your blouse. 17 minutes of extraneous dialogue omitted? SCP-5424? Dementia doesn't work like that. I read up on it after our last session. It's got to be something else. Dr. Ibanez. Like what, Hill? SCP-5424? Like one of the artifacts. Over at Samad. I mean, seriously, we handle potentially anomalous materials every day. It's only a matter of time before we inadvertently set off something nasty. Dr. Ibanez. Did you or your team discover anomalous properties in any of the items you examined lately? SCP-5424? Well, no, but that doesn't mean none of them had any. We've missed things before. 12 minutes of extraneous dialogue omitted? SCP-5424 is insistent that the onset of dissociative episodes is caused by heretofore undiscovered anomalous properties of one or more items analyzed by Samad. End transcript. Note: subject shows major confabulation pertaining to autobiographic facts in addition to previous symptoms. However, neurological test suite Sigma-2 administered by Dr. Ibanez and Dr. Vasilish-Korsakov show no signs of cerebral atrophy or related ailments. Site 81 medical staff urgently suggests transfer of patient to dedicated neuromedical facility at Site 19. Addendum: subsequent reanalysis of all items processed by SCP between the 1st of February 2019 and the 1st of March 2019 has failed to uncover any previously hidden anomalous attributes. Interview transcript IVT 5424-04. Date: the 12th of April 2019. Note: patient is currently detained at Site 81 Medical. Begin transcript. SCP-5424. Listen to me. I'm not crazy. I know what's causing it. The translation came back from Site 91. Let me out of here so I can stop it. Dr. Ibanez: I'm sorry, Hill. We have to keep you here for your own safety. Vasya has put in an urgent transfer request to Site 19. He says they'll be able to help you there. SCP-5424. Why am I even talking to you? Let me speak to Dr. Fredericks. Dr. Ibanez: I'm sorry. Who? SCP-5424. Dr. Sonequa Fredericks, my physician, the one treating me until now. A competent doctor in contrast to you? Dr. Ibanez: Hill, I've been treating you. Together with Vasya. SCP-5424. What? I've never seen you before in my life. Dr. Ibanez: Hill, it's me, Bobby. SCP-5424. Oh my God. You mean she's... Oh God. End transcript. Note: in addition to the serious confabulation shown previously, patient now exhibits dissociative symptoms pertaining to recollection of Site 81 personnel. Doctors Ibanez and Korsakov urgently request immediate priority transfer of patient to specialized facility at Site 19, regardless of current occupancy. Addendum: Site 81 personnel files show a Dr. Fredericks is not currently posted at Site 81. However, a Dr. Sonequa Fredericks has been posted at Site 76 Site Med since the 1st of August 2010. Dr. Fredericks has been contacted and claims no recollection of patient. Appendix B. Incident Reports IN 5424-01, IN 5424-02. Incident Report IN 5424-01. Date: April 14, 2019. Filed by Captain Tariq Qasad, Site 81 Security Division, Site Sec. At 23:41 on the 12th of April 2019, Site Sec received a code brown alert from Site Med. It was reported that patient Hillary Weaver had escaped confinement to Site Med and injured medical technician Hamada Ichiro in the process. Dr. Weaver was described by Site Med staff as mentally unstable and potentially dangerous. Intelligence gathered from previous statements by Dr. Weaver indicated the non-anomalous artifacts depot at Samad as a likely objective. SiteSec issued code brown for Samad, Site Med as well as Ines' Gamma through Epsilon. At 013 on April 13, 2019, Corporal G. Eisenman and Private L. Svensson located Dr. Weaver within the Gamma Annex Gymnasium. Corporal Eisenman reported Dr. Weaver as prone within a circular area of ceramic flooring, which had apparently replaced the EPDM flooring in that part of the gymnasium. Dr. Weaver was in considerable emotional distress and did not resist apprehension by SiteSec. Dr. Weaver has been detained within the SiteSec brig, pending investigation of the incident. Addendum: April 15, 2019. Analysis of the anomalous flooring within the Gamma Annex Gymnasium has revealed it to consist of standard P27 high-endurance tiling, used extensively at Site 87 within Samad and MTF deployment bays. Addendum: April 16, 2019. While the evaluation of Dr. Weaver's account of events concerning incident IN 5424-01 is currently pending, it has been determined that she is likely the focus of a hitherto unknown anomalous phenomenon. Dr. Weaver is reclassified as SCP-5424 and has been scheduled for transport to Site 0603 for containment and further analysis. Incident Report IN 5424-02, date, the 12th of May 2019, filed by Dr. Hannah Rubin, Site 0603 Humanoid Containment and Research Division, HumCon. At 9:41 on the 11th of May 2019. Live video feed from containment chamber HC-5424 was lost. Subsequent investigation by Class D personnel revealed the containment door to apparently have been cut off from Site 0603's power supply. It was later determined that the electrical and fiber optic conduits within 2 meters of the door had apparently moved vertically by approximately 25 centimeters. After conduit reconnection, live video feed was restored. Several anomalies have been observed within SCP-5424's containment chamber, the most notable being increase of the chamber's width by approximately 50 centimeters, inversion of the placement of bunk and toilet, appearance of a bookshelf containing several paperback books. Based on visible titles, the books are presumed to encompass The Forever War by Joe Haldeman, Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert A. Heinlein, and Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. SCP-5424 appears oblivious to any alteration of its surroundings. However, the subject seems aware of anomalous activity. After restoration of video and audio feeds, audio feed transmitted the following. It happened again. Huh? Thanks for getting the light back on. It's kinda hard to read in the dark. Addendum. Permission to enter HC-5424 in order to sample anomalous items and materials has been requested. Approval by lead researcher Hammerschmidt currently pending. Addendum. Deployed Scranton reality anchors deemed ineffective on SCP-5424's anomalous characteristics. Decommissioning and return to Site 0603 Equipment Depot have been scheduled for May 15, 2019. Containment Technician C. Ramirez. Appendix C. Interview Transcript IVT 5424-05. Interview Transcript IVT 5424-05. Date, May 15, 2019. Note: interview conducted by Dr. Hannah Rubin, Research Assistant at Site 0603 HumCon. In accordance with containment procedures, Dr. Rubin was not physically present within SCP-5424's containment chamber. The interview was conducted via HC-5424's internal comms system. Begin transcript. Dr. Rubin. Hello, Dr. Weaver. If you don't mind, I have a few questions for you. SCP-5424? Well, it's not like I have anything better to do. Even if it still is a bit weird talking to a voice from thin air. Dr. Rubin. I understand. However, considering your condition, we have determined it to be best for me not to enter your quarters. SCP-5424? Snorts. Quarters? Is that what you're calling it? Never mind. How can I help you? Dr. Rubin. I would like to hear your account of events leading up to Incident IN 5424-01. SCP-5424? Incident IN 5424-01. You're talking about the time I smacked that medical tech over the head with a flower pot and headed off to the nod. Note by Dr. Rubin. The Non-Anomalous Artifacts Depot at Site 81. Dr. Rubin. The incident report states you were found in a gymnasium. SCP-5424? Size? I've lost count of how many times I've told this story. But why not? It started off when the Zetas. Note by Dr. Rubin. MTF Zeta 9, mole rats, brought in that metric crap ton of potentially anomalous artifacts from that op in Chiapas. You know, that pyramid where those deranged cultists were trying to summon Quetzalcoatl? Anyways, it was mostly junk. Then I opened up another crate and there it was, PAE 35927. That number. I've handled hundreds of potential anomalies, and not one of the numbers stuck. Not even my first one, that silly little doll from New Orleans. But that one, PAA 35927, I'll remember that number until the day I die. Dr. Rubin. What was it? Can you describe the artifact? SCP-5424? A stone tablet. circular, kind of like one of their calendars. You know, the ones everyone got so crazy about in 2011? Except this one definitely wasn't. It wasn't segmented the way Mayan calendars are. Anyways, I opened the box and lifted out. There's this flash. It was like I could see an enormous anthropomorphic hummingbird holding a snake. And something else? A mirror, maybe? Dr. Rubin. And you didn't report this at the time? SCP-5424? I did. I filled out an SA-342 and reported the incident. We ran the extra tests and found exactly zilch. They did a scan on me too. Same result. Nekwa put it down to stress. Somehow, she always did. So, we marked up PAA 35927 as non-anomalous and went on with our lives. Then, for about a week, nothing happened. Dr. Rubin, that's when you started not remembering things. SCP-5424 chuckles bitterly. You still think I'm crazy, don't you? Look, you've undoubtedly read my file. Nekwa called it confabulation. I've read up on the condition. It doesn't fit the symptoms. People who confabulate produce narratives that are incoherent. Their stories change as their damaged brains try to process their memories. Do I sound brain damaged to you? Dr. Rubin, Dr. Hammerschmidt believes your memory has been corrupted by the anomalous. SCP-5424, I don't give a rat's ass what some Dr. So-and-so believes. I remember everything the way it's supposed to be. Approximately 20 seconds of silence. Dr. Rubin, we can continue at a later time, if you would like. SCP-5424, oh, keep your phony pity to yourself. You wanted to hear my story, so here it is. So, you've obviously read the interview transcripts. You know that things started changing. My quarters, Nekwa, Frank, my kids. I decided I wasn't going insane. Something was screwing with reality and I was going to stop it. But I had no idea what. That's when the translations came back. Dr. Rubin, the translations? SCP-5424, of the inscriptions on the artifacts. I remember each and every word. With each inhale, lives are extinguished. With each exhale, tales are snuffed out. For them, it is not of consequence. They distort the earth and heavens without a care. Lives and memories forever lost. With this, you shall be their witness. Dr. Rubin, so you decided it was PAA 35927 causing the changes to your reality? SCP-5424, at the time, I didn't care what exactly it all meant. That inscription sounded enough like what was happening to me that I decided to wreck it. It may have been as much about revenge as anything else. That fucking thing had taken everything. I was going to hurt it back. And maybe, just maybe, so I broke out of medical, headed for the nod and hurled it against the nearest wall. Dr. Rubin, then why did you go to the gymnasium? SCP-5424, I didn't. When that thing shattered against the wall, there was that flash again. That image of the hummingbird with the snake. Next thing I know, I'm in the gym. The only part of the nod still there was the floor around me. The more I think about it, the more convinced I am that though my destroying the artifact didn't stop what it was doing, I must have damaged it somehow. The effect was no longer contained to me, but stretched out to the space around me. Approximately 10 seconds of silence. Dr. Rubin, what happened then? SCP-5424, you know the rest. I was picked up by Site-Sec and locked up in the brig. After that, they shipped me here. Dr. Rubin, so, to summarize, an ancient Mayan artifact with undetected powers started changing your reality. And after you destroyed it, it began changing the space around you, too. SCP-5424, you're not listening, kid. PAA 35927 wasn't changing reality. It was preventing it from changing. But only for me, Dr. Rubin. That's a very interesting hypothesis, Dr. Weaver. Now, I think this concludes the interview. Would you mind if we spoke again tomorrow? SCP-5424? Sure, if you still exist. Dr. Rubin, I have every intention of continuing to exist, Dr. Weaver. SCP-5424? That's precisely what Dr. Eisenhower said. Dr. Rubin. Who's Dr. Eisenhower? SCP-5424? Exactly. End transcript. Addendum. Inquiries to the inventory of Site-81 NOD has shown that item PAA-35927 is a Cheyenne war bonnet confiscated by MTF Beta 777 on the 2nd of November 2014 with no registered anomalous properties. No item matching SCP-5424's account has been processed by Site-81 SMOD to date. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and comment. Subscribe and click the bell icon.